Morning, guys. Afternoon, guys. It's time is it? It's 20 to 3, waiting for Katie to come. And sorry, I just took the dogs out. I was telling you earlier it was nicer today and it was a lot breezier. It's really hot this afternoon. So I'm all ready for Katie. And the air conditioner is going full blast. And I'm just sitting here working on the graduation pictures, putting them in the folders and stuff, because we ordered all the envelopes. We ran out of envelopes, and I ordered the rest to come. Pete ordered the rest to come, and they should be delivered today. They went out on Friday. So I also have the appointment book here because I've been working on that, and yeah, just doing that. Ashley got home this morning. She walked in the door. I was making my coffee, and she walked in the door around 20 past 6, 6:30, something like that. So she did end up working the whole shift. It was good, but at least they weren't kept any later. She said it was so funny because they hadn't, I don't know if he's there just for the day or whether he's there now for good. But the manager that was doing the overnight with them last night said, "Can I just have one person stay with me till the general manager comes in?" Ashley goes, "Nobody put their hands up." So he turned around, he's like, "Oh, nobody wants to stay with me, huh?" But Ash goes, she was just about to, begrudgingly, and somebody else volunteered, so she ran out quick. So she slept till about, what time did she sleep till? About 1 o'clock, I think. And now she's just relaxing upstairs, watching TV, playing games, eating lunch. Roxy's over my shoulder. Roxy, what are you doing? I'm just trying to aim the air conditioner so it hits me. I am roasting. Changed again like 3 times today. Knee's not great still, especially going up and down the stairs. And I'm sitting on this poof thing to do this because I wanted to do these pictures in here rather than in Pete's office. Because if Ash wants to stay upstairs, I have to stay in this room when Katie gets here. I can't be in another room, obviously. So I figured I'd just sit here and do them while she's watching TV. And try and at least get them all sorted into folders. Pete was going to do them last night, but he spoke to his buddy who was working the wedding with him on Friday, and they were on the phone about 2 hours. I said to Pete, "You're worse than a woman." I hate being on the phone these days. Hate it, hate it, hate it. Sorry, I feel like I have trickles of sweat. I know. Gross, huh? At least I smell nice. I totally went up and sprayed myself with that Ralph Lauren body spray thing I showed you in my bag yesterday. I went head to toe with it. And when Katie leaves, I'll take another shower. Right, I'm going to get cracking on these, but I wanted to say hello because I haven't said hello today, and the day will disappear. I know it. Got my orange drink here. I've got a bigger one. And I'm watching... Oh, that's me. I'm not watching me. I'm actually was just responding. There was another comment I was just about to respond to. But I was watching somebody else's grocery haul, and let's see. Oh, Big Brother is on.
I mean, I'm like.
Can you pass me that water real quick?
Yeah.
Hey guys. I hope everyone's doing well. Sorry, time to twist. Twist, 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 twist. Oh, jeez. Now between the knee and the back. It's not good. I don't know who that is. Pete just left to go over to this lady's house to replace the plaque tag that I've told you guys about that they kept... Hold on. Yep, they hung up, so... yeah, remember I told you twice they sent the wrong doodad on the plaque, put the wrong year on it, and the name, they spelt the name wrong, so... 3rd time's a charm. He's just gone over there to replace it. Took my hairdryer with him, little rat bag, because he has to melt the glue off of it. And Ashley went out. She went out around... Katie got picked up at 6, then Ash went out, and Pete got home at the same time. I've had quite a few calls this afternoon for senior portraits, which is... What else? Sorry, stretching the leg, stretching the leg. Try not to grunt and groan too much, sound like an old lady. So, today is July 8th, and it just hit me. I remembered yesterday. but because it's just been one of those days today, it just hit me. I have been here 31 years today. I came over as a nanny, as you all know. Well, some of you don't, because I got some new people. And I stayed with my family for 4.5 years. And I'm still in touch with the 3 girls I was a nanny for. I know you all know, some of you don't, that they're all over the place now. The whole family moved away, and my 3 girls, they're still my 3 girls, are all in different areas. One's in San Francisco, one's in Ohio, and one's in Texas, and I hope I got that right. And they all have babies of their own, except the youngest, who got married a couple of years ago, and I believe she's a chef. And it's so funny because when I left, she was still a little one. She was still preschool and all that good stuff. And now she's this beautiful young woman who's a chef, and she's married. And I don't know, it's just so nice. I love Facebook because I keep in touch with them that way. And the mum and dad of the family I looked after, the dad's birthday is also July 17th, so I always drop him a note on his birthday, which is next week also. But yeah, 31 years. I remember mum and dad dropping me off at the airport, and I burst into tears. And mum said, "Don't go if you don't want to go." And I'm like, "I want to go, but I want to go." I always wanted to see America, and this was one way to see America. I was coming over for a year. I was going to nanny for 1 year and then go home. Because ever since I was a little kid, I always wanted to go to America. Not necessarily New York. I actually didn't care where I wanted to. I just wanted to go to America. Because Dad was in the army, we always took summer and winter holidays in the caravan with 2 or 3 other army families, and we all went away together. And it was always the question for the summer vacation or holiday was, where do you guys, see, I'm American now, where do you all want to go? And I used to always say America. My dad would say, "Don't be ridiculous, we can't drive to America." And I'm like, "Why not?" I was only 7. But I wanted to come to America so bad. So I always said to myself, before I get married and settle down, I'm going to America. So one day, now we lived in Germany most of my growing up days, and Cyprus. We moved back to England when I was 16, but we were still on an army base, but in North Yorkshire. And then we moved back to the Midlands, and I remember Dad come home from work one day and he said, "How seriously are you about going to America?" And I thought we were going on a holiday. I'm like, "Very serious." And he said, "Well, you can go over and be a nanny." A friend of his in the army, his daughter was over here, and she'd been talking to her parents, and there was another girl here, and they knew a family that was looking for a nanny, and they wanted one from England. And I don't know how I came up, because I never even thought about coming over as a nanny. And I thought about it, and they said the only thing you need is a driving test. Well, I was taking driving lessons at the time. I failed 4 times. Oh, I shouldn't admit that, but I did. No, I failed 3 times. I passed on the 4th. Wow. But I remember taking my test, and I passed, and I said to the instructor, "Great, now I'm going to America." And he said, "Well, Miss Jones, I think I need to take back your pass, because you're now going to a country where you're going to drive on the other side of the road in a big car." But he didn't. He let me have my thing. And I moved here a month after that, I think. So the first time I ever drove alone was over here in America. And it was a week after I got here. And they had one of those massive estate cars. They're not even, I don't even see them on the road anymore. It was humongous, and it was a brand new car, and they belonged to a beach club. And the 2 girls, she was pregnant at the time with the 3rd baby, so I got here in July, obviously. And there was 2 other girls, her other 2 girls, 3 and 6. And she showed me how to get to the beach club one time, and then I had to drop them off at summer camp. And I drove home, and I got lost. And I was driving on the highway, bawling I want to go back to England. I don't want to stay here. And all I remember is seeing a sign on the highway saying New York City. And I was like, oh crap, I'm going to end up in New York City. The first time I ever drove by myself. I wasn't quite 19 yet because I moved, was it 8, 9, 10, 10 days before I have to add it up because I'm tired. 10 days before my 19th birthday I came here, and I'm driving thinking I'm going to get lost and I'm going to end up in New York City. And to me then, New York City was a big bad place that I was scared of. But then I took an exit. It said last exit before toll. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to take this exit. So I took the exit. Nothing looked familiar. And I remember stopping on this little tiny hut on the side of the road, like a little greengrocer type place, and asking for directions to this town that I knew I lived in. And they go, I don't know where it is. Do you know, I was so close to home. I was like, I can't believe they didn't know where it was. Maybe, I don't know, because I'm telling you, I was 5 minutes away from the street that I lived on. So I go up the street and I just made a right, and I'm like, oh, things are starting to look familiar, and I passed the high school, but I was going backwards. I'd never been down this way before. And I finally found my street, and I got home. And the first thing the mum of the house said to me was, what the heck took you so long? I said, I got lost. And she goes, well, where were you? I'm like, on a highway, heading towards Manhattan. She goes, oh, I need the car. She left. She didn't feel sorry for me at all. But I loved them. I loved them. Like I said, I was with them 4.5 years. The 2 youngest were in my wedding party when Pete and I got married. The oldest would have been, but she was in Paris for the summer on a student exchange thing. Oh my God, that was my memory of my first drive over here by myself. And of course I never got lost after that. And there was no such thing as GPSs back then, because it was 31 years ago. No cell phones, nothing. And then, ironically enough, after I got married, I ended up working at that beach club that I was a nanny at, because, you know, we got to know the manager of the club and stuff. It's a privately owned beach club, so I got to know the manager, and I got offered a job there. My best friend came a year after I came to be a nanny, and we had the best time. And she got a job there, then I got a job there as her assistant. No, I got assistant bookkeeper first, and then I became her assistant. She was the catering manager, and I ended up hated bookkeeping, and I got the assistant catering manager's job, and I worked there for 11 years. Ashley went to day camp there, and then Ashley worked there for a couple of years. Last year was the first. She worked there 2 years out of high school. Last year high school and first year college. So really weird. Shows you what goes around comes around, and how you end up at the same place. And I'm still in touch with some of the members from there that was friends with the family that I worked for, because we had a little nanny crew. There was 4 of us that were really tight, and we all hung out together and stuff. One was from Arizona, and the other 3 of us were from England. And the 3 of us from England all knew each other in Germany, went to school together. It's weird. Memories. I just can't get over the fact it's 31 years, because honest to God, except the way I feel pain-wise, I don't feel like I'm going to be 50. It's weird next week. But my body says, oh yeah, you're going to be 90 next week. That's wild. I don't think Pete's even remembered that it's been, not that he'd probably be like, oh, if only you hadn't come. You stayed over there. No, I'm just kidding. You just wonder what my life would have ended up like if I hadn't come here. Like, a lot of people over here in America say, oh, you're from England, that's so cool. And I'll tell them how long I've been here, because they ask, and they say, oh, you still have such a strong accent. But when I talk to people back in England, they say, you're so Americanized, especially my family, you have no accent at all. And we all know the West Midlands accent is very different. Well, I never had that. So although I say I'm from Wolverhampton, I am, because that's where my dad's from. But I was born and I grew up in Germany, so I just speak. I don't feel like I had an accent because on the army base, everybody was from all different areas of England, so we just speak. Like everybody kind of lost their homegrown accent, so to speak. When I go back next week, I'll start to say some things and I kind of mimic my mum and I pick it up a little bit. And people will notice, like my family will notice over here, my American family will notice when I come back. And I'll say things and my mum will mimic me because I say it in an American way. But to be fair, I've never said schedule, which I know is the proper way to say it. I say schedule, but I've always said schedule. And I remember when I worked in Wolverhampton before I came here, I worked at a solicitor's office. And I remember going in, I was on a government training scheme, and I remember going in to tell the office manager that I wasn't going to take the job, that I was actually coming to America. And how did we get on the subject? But I said the word schedule and she snapped at me and she goes, "You're not in America yet, you will say schedule." I thought, I've never said schedule. Doesn't sound right to me. Some random facts on how I became an American resident, because I'm still a British citizen. Pizza, but that's it. So that's how I came to be an American resident alien. Sounds lovely, doesn't it? Is that Pete Rocks? Is he back already? Roxy, is it Pete or is someone coming to our house? Let's go see. Ow, don't mind the squeak. It's the bones and the bed. Louis, you better be on guard. If it's not Pete's car in the driveway, I'm going to be a little bit freaked out. Oh no, his car's there. That was really quick. But yeah, so that's going to be it for today, guys. Hanging out with me. Katie actually slept this afternoon. She wasn't feeling good. So she slept the majority of the afternoon, so I just sat at the table in there where I showed you before, and I was just putting all the pictures together and working on that so I can get those in the mail as soon as our envelopes come. But on that note, guys, now I've told you my little story and I'm wandering down memory lane. I'm going to go download this. It's 8 something. I'm going to go have some dinner and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Just started storming like crazy. Probably drop the camera out the bathroom window when it thunders. Of course I turned the camera off and big crack of thunder and lightning. How grey it is over there. I hear rumblings in the distance. Oh, it's over there. Okay. Gotta keep it up there. Trying to get a bit of storm for you because it was really intense, the lightning before, but the minute of course I get the camera out it just doesn't do anything. So it's almost 9 o'clock, it's a couple of minutes to 9. I'm going to go watch a couple of minutes of Big Brother. Siren's gone off. And then I'm going to go make a bacon and egg sandwich for dinner. Pete's having leftover meatballs from last night. And that's going to be it for tonight. So again, love and leave you. See you tomorrow. Hope everyone had a great Monday. Bye, guys.